Yes, it is DJ Ski from Dash Radio, and you are now listening to the #1 South Asian radio station in the world. I'm talking about Rukus Avenue Radio, Dash Radio's exclusive South Asian station. Let's go.
Happy Monday, everyone. It's me, Karishma, the host of Miraculous Mondays, right here on Rukus Avenue Radio, the #1 South Asian station in the world. Happy Monday, everybody, and I hope you are all starting this week off fresh, got your morning coffee and your morning tea to get your week going, to just start working on your dreams, doing what you love to do, and just have a little pep in the step. It's going to be a great week. I can feel it for all of us. If you're tuning in, make sure to message me, tell me what's been going on, tell me what you've been loving about the show. I've been so blessed to be chatting with so many cool independent artists from India, which is absolutely amazing because the indie artist scene in India is so phenomenal. There's just so much talent coming from there. And I've just been so lucky to meet such amazing people. And today I have a very, very special guest. She is a powerhouse. Her voice is stellar, and she has an amazing track that is out that y'all will be playing on this show. You guys are going to love it. I have the one and only Sherise D'Souza. Welcome to the show.
Hey, Karishma. It's awesome to be here with you on the show. I'm so happy.
I am so happy. Thank you for taking the time to come out. So I just your voice is stellar. Your sound is so different. I love the, rock element and with these beats. And so I have to just kind of start from the beginning. And this is what I've been asking everyone is how did you always know, from the time you were young, I'm going to be a singer. This is it. Music is my passion. Were you did you grow up in a supportive environment?
Yes, actually, the second thing that you mentioned is so true. I mean, I grew up in a very, very supportive environment because my mom was in the band and my dad plays guitar. So we were always having, music at home. And then my dad was also in choirs, and, we were doing a lot of gospel music. I used to sing in church. So we had music constantly going on every day. So, I never knew I would become a songwriter one day, but I was always in the scene with the musicians in my city, and we used to perform in all the big venues where we used to perform a lot of choral music, Western classical, Mozart, Beethoven, those kind of works. And then that kind of helped me to train my voice right from when I was a child. Since 8 years old, I've been singing. So that actually helped me to get a grounding in Western music. And from there on, I just started exploring different kinds of works, being in different kinds of choirs, in gospel choirs, and in also non-gospel as well, doing a lot of fun work, even Queen kind of work, doing it in different voices and stuff. So I was always a soprano, the high soprano. I could hit all the high notes. Yeah. So that helped me to develop my range as well. Throughout the years. And then I also attended a few of the voice modulation classes, and I did some personal coaching with a lot of very good vocal coaches, one of which is Patricia Rosario from London. So they really helped me to, bring out my personality with my voice. And that's really important when you're growing as an artist, that to, show your own personality, where, we listen to so many different artists all the time, but we try not to become them or become like them, but we try to bring out our own individuality. And that's what I learned throughout the years. So I'm really grateful to all my teachers, every single little thing that has led me step by step to become what I'm supposed to become and what I am now.
I love that. Yeah, so, I think that makes such a difference, right? Because you're in an environment where your talent is applauded and you're able to work on it and really kind of craft that gift. So that's absolutely amazing. Being in India, this is kind of, I always wonder this about everywhere, because I'm okay, you have a talent, but where do you start? How do you end up being now I'm going to create my own track? Does that whole responsibility just kind of fall on you, or did you have a lot of people that were producers or collaborators that you could work with? How did you decide okay, you know what, now I really want to carve my path and make my own music, and deciding what that sound was going to be like?
Yes, I mean that takes a lot of inner strength and guts to say that okay, I want to start writing my own song. So that's first started with me being a writer, where I used to write down my own thoughts, like whatever I was going through in the moment. If I was feeling sad or if I was feeling depressed, I always took to writing. It may not be a song, but it could just be an essay or something I'm going through. Like that may not even be making sense at the time, but then I realized that okay, what I wrote at that time, I looked at it the next day and I said, okay, this does make sense. I mean, what I wrote does make sense. So then I said, okay, then I got a little more confidence in myself and I said, okay, I can write. That's one of the gifts that I've been gifted with, the writing, the gift of writing. So then I slowly developed on that, and I started writing more poetry, started my own blog. So then I started writing a lot of poetry. So initially, all my poetry had a lot of words. And, it was not like a song where you had, minimal words and you had like a structure for a song. So it was just poetry for the rhyming aspect of it. And then, after becoming a poet and, learning to hone my writing skills, then I started, saying, okay, let me now start writing songs from this. So I started boiling it down. It's just boiling the to concentrate and making it better and more refined. So it's always a process of doing that, because our thoughts are so much that we think about. Sometimes we get confused about what we are at this moment, what we're feeling at this moment. So it's just about being clear and genuine about who you are at this moment, your authentic self, bringing out your authentic feelings and your authentic, that just improves your communication style, and that helps you to write a better song and be more direct with what you want to say. So that has always been a learning process with me. I mean, I'm sure I'm not yet all like 100% perfect at it, so but I'm still going on that journey, and I'm happy to get whatever results I'm getting with what I've done till now.
Yeah, no, I love that. And so, like, I mean, kind of going into a different, zone with your voice, how would you say it was when you were creating, your first single? Were you kind of like, I know that this is going to be my sound, or you were open to a lot of things? And so what was that process of really making your first single and making your first track out there, apart from the writing, more of like the musicality of it?
It was really fun for me, because the person who I was working with was an experienced producer. So he actually, produced my first track. It's called Unfinished Business, and it's a funk track. So I had to be like really, really minimal with the words in that, like either two words in a line, 2 or 3 words in a line. So I had to say what I wanted to say in 2 words or 3 words, So I mean, that was a lot of fun, because what I ended up doing is that I ended up like creating a very, very fun song, and then he was guiding me, because he had created the track, and then he's like, you have to write lyrics that match this track, and you have to match this feel. And that was a superb challenge for me. So I love challenges. I love getting out of my comfort zone, and that's how I've been like just experimenting. And it was just a lot of fun, just recording it line by line. Of course, when I'm doing it for the first time, I was just recording it line by line and then saving it, and then okay, this didn't sound right, okay, do it again. And then just to get the funk feel, and to change my voice also according to the genre. So that was a superb getting out of my comfort zone moment for me, and I really love that.
I love that. Yeah, and I think it's like so important, right? Like as you're finding your voice, but also not like limiting yourself. Because I feel like, as I was listening to your tracks, like there's a lot of variety. It doesn't all sound the same. It's not all like, okay, you're able to do a lot, which is very cool. Do you think that that's one of the pros of being an independent artist, where you kind of make all the decisions versus someone else being like, oh, you know what? This is the lane and this is the only lane you can stay in?
That is so well said. I mean, that's such a big advantage of being an independent artist, that you get to make your own calls, what you want to do next. that you get to say what you want to do and how you want to release it, and you get to review it. And then, but the cons of that is that also maybe like whatever your call is may not be the perfect call. Maybe you may be like, if someone is a pro who's already up there like 10-20 years ahead of you, and then they look at your work and they say, oh, it's amateurish, but then for me it is like pro. But then it's always also a learning. But if you're working with a record label, like those kind of cons are avoided, because they tell you what to do, before you release it, because once it's out, you can't change it, it's there.
Yeah.
It's like everyone's already seen it. So I mean, for me, it's been a step-by-step process where I've been releasing one song, and then I learned from my mistakes, and then I grew with the next song. I try to make each song better than the previous one. So that's how it's been for me as an independent artist. I just look at what went well and what didn't go well. If it went well, I repeated the same formula the next time. If it didn't go well, then I would change my formula and then try to experiment in another way. It's all like been experimentation for me. But now I'm so happy that even the people up the top are taking notice, and they're telling me what I'm doing wrong and what I'm doing right. So that's the advantage of putting your stuff out, like constantly putting my stuff out. So then people are always looking at it, and people are always giving me feedback, which I love.
Rukus Avenue Radio.
Yes. So what, like being an independent artist, like right now in India, what is that like? Because I feel like it's a fairly newish space. I mean, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I feel like for me, growing up when I, was younger, there was a very kind of like pop star culture in India, right? But they were also like playbacks for Bollywood. So, Sean would have his album, or, Alicia Chinoy, and they would like, there was kind of like a set space for them. And then there were like the Bollywood tracks. But then after that kind of seemed to fizzle out a bit. And we weren't seeing much of like a just album artists, right? Because then it became, when all these songs came out, movies would take that and then use it in their movie. And that's kind of how it would work, or maybe more people would hear it. So how is it now? Like, how have you been seeing the evolution, especially being a part of it?
Yes, I mean, I've been listening to these artists as I've been growing up, and they have their own sound, and they have their own the way they release their album. So I mean, at the start, earlier, there used to be CDs and cassettes, and you could release an album, and all of the songs would have the same thread going through it in an album. So I mean, the trend of releasing albums was awesome at that time, because it made sense, because you're selling the entire album, and then people were appreciating each song equally in the album. But now the trend has changed, because now we have a lot of digital distributors and stuff, and we don't have CDs and cassettes anymore. So I mean, of course, I mean, it does make some kind of sense to release albums now. But then for me, I realize for me, it like makes more sense to release one banger of a single, and then put in all my effort into that, and then then they have everybody listen to that and eyeball that. So right now, because of the change in the laws and the change in the way people see things, and because of the variety of stuff that's available online, so it makes more sense for me to release singles now. But I've grown up, listening to albums, having cassettes, and playing the entire cassette, A side B, and then not listening to any other artist at the time. Like I would be just listening to NSYNC side A, side B,
Yeah.
and like Shan side A, side B, of the cassette. So that's how we've been grown up listening to music. I wish it was still prevalent, because then that was also a way in which we could earn more, and as being an artist. And then you would say, okay, I'll only be a singer, I won't do anything else to supplement my musical career. But now it's become more and more important for us to have your music, and also have something else to support your music career, so that if something goes wrong, then you have something to support it. And you can also invest more in your career if you have other work going on side by side.
No, definitely. And I think that, there's obviously like with how we evolve in music and in the industry, there's always like pros and cons, right? So like, right, you said before, there'd be like a record label, they'd get a decent amount of money, and it'd be like, okay, that's my career, that's what I do. And now a lot of it is, there are ways to kind of self-market and reach, volumes of people that you may have been not able to reach before, thanks to social media and Spotify and Apple Music and things like that, where okay, now we can kind of really be worldwide. But again, it just takes so much effort. But I've noticed that too, that a lot of the independent artists, instead of an album, will just kind of focus on one track. And like you said, just put out like a great track. And then that way people are there for that. And then they wait for the next one. And that's kind of how it goes. So I want to, you know, when we're going to be playing all of Sherise's songs.
Yay!
So don't worry, you guys are going to hear all her amazing tracks, but she has one that will be out when this airs, which is amazing, which is Never Born. So I want to talk about this because it is like a rock track, and I dig it so much because it takes me back, because that it's like one of my favorite genres. So I want to just talk about the whole process of the song. Like, how long did it take you to create this, and kind of like the message and meaning behind it?
It's really interesting because I started working on the song this year itself. But you know, the idea behind it was, you know, the pain and depression that, you know, people are going through in this pandemic. I mean, a lot of people lost their jobs, and they had a lot of career struggles, you know, because of the big change, because of the lockdown. And you know, even I felt the same, that, you know, because of not being able to go out and, you know, do gigs. So there are a lot of these negative emotions that come through for people. And then, you know, I just wanted I wanted to create a song that expresses all these negative emotions, so that people can listen to the song and then release all of that negativity, so that they can, you know, come out of it and become more positive about their life, feel better about it. Because it's not good to, you know, keep your negative feelings inside. It's always good to vent it out constructively, so that it does not lead to something that will do harm to you and to your friends and to the world. So it's all, music is such a cathartic way of releasing emotions, and I truly believe that it can change the world if we use it as a great weapon of positivity. So we need weapons of positivity right now. And yeah. I truly believe that if I'm genuine about what I want to convey to the world, it will come out in the right way. So that's what I wanted to do with this song. It's called Never Born because it's something like, suppose you are fighting for your freedom. Mm-hmm. For example, a freedom fighter who's fighting for freedom of his country. There are times when he's going through certain emotions where he feels that, I wish I didn't have to go through this. I wish I didn't have to give my life for my country. But I have to. I know I've been called for this noble cause. And I want to. And that there is a selfishness aspect to it also, that, okay, I have to do this because it's a noble cause, and I have to lead my army to fight for freedom and lead myself to fight for freedom. So there are times where we wish we didn't have to do that. And we wish we were never born, but we are called for this purpose. So let's do it, and let's release our negative emotions, and let's move forward. So that's what this song is about.
Yes. And so when you were first starting to write the track, and kind of it was, you know, all coming to you, did you know that it was going to be more of a rock track? Because between the meaning behind it, right, it also could have been like a ballad, or like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of ways you could have gone with it. And I love that this is where you went with it. So I want to know, like, did you have that in mind when writing?
Yes, actually, I thought rock would work really well with this kind of theme, because it's all about war, internal and as well as external war, the war that happens within us each moment. Like, what is the best thing to do next in this situation? What's the choices? I also wrote another song called Divided earlier, which also has the same kind of battle within ourselves, and we have to choose between A and B and C, or whatever choices you make in your career. So there's always a battle going on in the mind, like, what should I do? What course should I take next? So this song is also like a step two from that. So it's a more intense feeling of being divided within yourself and being divided outside. So if human beings are, if they're clear with what they want, then they would not, create conflicts with others. That's what I believe. Mm-hmm. So, and also rock was a very, very good way and a very hard-hitting way to express this. It could have been a rap song also, I'm sure Yeah, and I'm excited also to say that there's going to be a symphonic rock version of the song coming out on 1st of October. So it's going to be with a very well-known German producer. So this is just one version, but there's another version also coming out on 1st October. So this is
Oh,
more for like a poppy version.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. So, you releasing track by track, what do you feel like your evolution as an artist has been from the first track you released till now? How do you feel you've changed as an artist?
I feel like I'm able to decipher my sound better now, and also to give my best to each song that I produce. And it so happens sometimes that, the people who I work with, they are good at a certain thing. So I adapt myself also in that way to, to make the song sound better in that particular genre. For example, if I'm working with a funk producer, so then I will if I know this guy is so good at producing a funk track, then I'll adapt myself, that I'll adapt my voice and I'll adapt the way I sing the song, the way I deliver to suit that particular song. So that sometimes it's not just about being okay my way or the highway. It's also about adapting to who you're working with, who you're collaborating with. And I'm the best work comes out with collaboration. I always believe so. So even being an independent artist, I also need to have that team spirit, and also be a good leader to understand what sounds best, where to say no, where to draw the line, and also how to work with others in the best way possible, in the most diplomatic way possible, to get the best possible output. So learning all these things has been amazing for me. I love this. I love the journey, and I'm so happy that God is leading me on this journey.
Yes, yes.
Rukus Avenue Radio.
I do love that. It's beautiful to see, and it's also beautiful to know that like there is it's all about timing, right? And right now is like really the hot time for independent artists in India. And I think that's something that totally should be taken advantage of. But it's also so cool that you're meeting so many people, whether, producers and other artists that you can collaborate on. And so with the conversations that I've been having recently, I'm like, there is so much talent. And it seems like everybody's kind of working together and supporting one another to really lift each other up, which is so important in any industry, but especially in an industry like this where your community is important, right? So being an independent artist through this time and seeing your own growth, what do you like visualize for yourself going forward from here?
Going forward, I would just love to put out better quality music, and my vision is to put out great quality music, better quality videos. So I would be really happy if I collaborate with a brand who actually sponsors all my work, my videos, so I can probably put my music on their channel and also get publishing deals, like have my music on for movies being used, so that the song gets more a lot of more people hear the song in better context. So it's all about the work of art at the end of it. That's we breathe into it, and then it gets life, and it has a life of its own. So the more it grows, for example, if I release a song maybe in March, and then it just grows and it breathes, and it grows more and more and more and more people hear it, and then they hear it differently. I mean, everyone hears it differently, and it takes on a life of its own. So just looking at that magic happen, that's just what drives me, and getting that magic to be more and more perfect. That's what I want to do in future. Like also sign with maybe a really big label, so that they can also advise me on how I can get more shows and tour internationally, just performing my original music, which I would love to do. I mean, that's my dream, to go on tour and just perform my originals with a great band and dancers, and have like a big audience, like people, a lot of people appreciate my originals. So that's all. I can say every artist's dream, but for me personally, I would love to do that.
I love it. And so I have to ask, like in in the current indie music scene in India, who are some of your favorite artists or producers that are putting out some talent out there that you like have worked with or would love to work with in the community?
In India, like many of the people are, into the Bollywood industry,
Mm-hmm.
so that's a separate line altogether. And I'm happy to get into that line, but I'm sure there's a lot of compromise, involved in terms of how I want to release it as a Bollywood track. So everyone looks at the top 40 songs, and they try to make it like that. So like being an independent artist, like I tried to be different, but there is a limit also to being different. Like sometimes you're not accepted when you're too different.
Mm-hmm.
So like I actually admire a lot of international artists, like for example Evanescence. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love Evanescence. Well, and it's so funny because it was like when I was listening to it, I'm like, oh, this is like really making me nostalgic when I was listening to Neverborn. So I was like, oh, this is like, I was really rocking out, and I'm so excited because I feel like there is such a variety of taste and talent, and everybody likes something different. Not everybody wants to listen to the same thing every day. And so I think that's so great that there's artists in India that are able, especially like you, like you're able to do this and be with your voice authentically. And I think that that's what listeners and audiences want the most. So so we have Neverborn will be released when this airs. So, and we'll be playing it on the show. So make sure to check out. What else are we expecting for the rest of the year? Are you releasing more tracks this year? Are you still going to do single by single? Are we going to expect any kind of EP, little album coming out, or music videos? What are we expecting from you?
As of now, I have like a lot of singles coming out, but because I have to work separately and for each single to give my best to each of them, like to deliver a great music video for each of them individually, and change my look and change my avatar for each single. So I would say that yeah, I mean, even Christmas music for that matter, I mean, I would release that as a single. But maybe next year, if I associate with a brand, or if I associate with a label, and then I can put out a string of 5 songs together, and then have the same kind of sound and same kind of look for all the 5 songs, and whatever the label wants, and how we can collaborate and get the best out of it. I'm totally up for that. Yeah, because it's so beautiful right now, because even in all this adversity that we're going through, the collaboration and the love in the music community is amazing. I mean, we're able to connect more now than what we were doing before, because now we are releasing our own originals, and everyone wants to release new music because there are no gigs happening. I mean, earlier we were all only doing gigs, and we are like going out, like going from place to place, and traveling. There was no time to create new stuff. But I mean, now what's happening is that everyone's putting out their own music, and everyone's collaborating, and it's really beautiful to see that. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, this has been such an amazing conversation, Sherise. Thank you so much for being on the show. Before we close out, I do have to ask, what is, it's Miraculous Monday, so we're all about the positivity and love here. So what is some advice you would give to aspiring artists that are really trying to just find their voice and break into the scene? Like, what advice would you give to them to kind of stay true to themselves?
I would say just trust that inner voice inside you. It's in you. It's a light. It's a small light. Like you're like a candle, but the more you keep lighting your own light and your own candle, I mean, the bigger the light and the from your candle will be. So just be authentic and be true to your own thoughts and your own self. Meditate so that you can center yourself and understand yourself more, so that when you write, you'll have a more authentic, you'll know why you're writing what you're writing, and it won't be because someone else told you to write that, or someone else told you to make that song. It's because you want to make that song and you want to put out a message to the world. And also, with regards to people who are giving you feedback, take it with a pinch of salt. Because if you take it too seriously, then it might end up damaging the way you look at yourself and your self-confidence. Sometimes you get less confident because people give you negative feedback about yourself, and then you say, oh, I can't do this because this person said that this is a big person, and this big person said that no, you can't sing or you can't write. But then if you have that inner voice inside you saying that yes, I can, and you have that positivity inside you, then nothing can stop you. Like, I'm so happy that I'm blessed with my name, which is so positive. It's Sherise, so it's like she rises. So every time I fell, I just rose from it. I used it as a a leverage to bounce back. So I'm really happy and blessed that I've been blessed with such a beautiful name.
Yes, I love it. Oh my gosh. So, Sherise, so let all the listeners know where they can find you, where, they can keep up to date, where they can find your music so that way they can support you and just see what you're up to, especially in all your, future projects coming out.
Absolutely. So on Instagram, I'm Sherise D'Souza Official. D'Souza is a Goan name. I'm a Goan, so like Sherise, proud Goan. So Sherise D'Souza Official. On YouTube, I'm Sherise D'Souza. And on Facebook, I'm Sherise Music, just my first name and music. And on I'm everywhere on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube Music, all the possible platforms. And so you can just search for my name and you'll find me. Then I kind of try to keep posting every day, maybe some picture or some, video recording. So on my Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know exactly what I'm doing, what my plans are. So do follow me and do check out my music on Spotify, iTunes, because that's how we get paid also. Because if you check it out on Spotify and iTunes, that's, it's a distributor. So that's how we get our income from. So please do check out our songs on Spotify, iTunes.
Amazing. Oh, well, thank you so much. Make sure to check out Sherise. Her single Neverborn will be out when this airs, and we'll be playing it right here on the show along with a few of her other tracks. Absolutely talented musician. Be sure to follow her on Instagram, support her, go listen and stream her music on Spotify. And yeah, keep up to date with her, and I'm sure we'll have her back very soon. Listeners, I love you so much. Have an amazing week. And if there's anything you need, be sure to reach out. This is Karishma signing off of Miraculous Mondays, and I will see you next Monday.
Hey yo, what's up? It's yours truly, DJ Double Up. Check me out each and every Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern, same place, same time, with all of your and my favorite hip-hop and R&B tracks. Get at me on IG at DJ Double Up with all your shout-outs and requests. Buckle up and drive slow.
I'm shitting on these bitches when they woo. Wish I could forgive and let it go, but they said I couldn't, and I went and did it on my own too. Now it's time to spread my wings and go. Yeah. I flew through the palm trees, saw you at arm's reach. Needed a hand, but you laid down at Palm Beach. Claimed that I left you in sand that you brought by yourself, and now you need my help like it's our dream. Nah, love, I'm cool, I just stopped by the pool. If I bake me a cake, then I ate that shit too. If I play me the bass, 4 a.m., hit the booth. Early bird, get the worm, now how you want my food. Pigeonholed, I'm shitting on these bitches when they woo. Wish I could forgive and let it go, but they said I couldn't, and I went and did it on my own too. Now it's time to spread my wings and go. Yeah. The cat's in the cradle, my dad is my label. My friends are my reps and I'm managed by angels. Work through the weekend, I'm way more than able. And tables will turn when we're turned on the table. Do my own press and I wrote my own fables. I sent them to text but the iPhone disabled. End of the day, man, if I'm just a product, then what can I say? I guess labels will label. Pigeonholed, I'm shitting on these bitches when they woo. Wish I could forgive and let it go, but they said I couldn't, then I went and did it on my own too. Now it's time to spread my wings and go.
Take your time with your side and then you come and go again. You said that we'll be fine on the end line, but then you go again. And yeah, there you go again. Where you been, honey? How you doing? Haven't heard from you since I got angry. I'm in the city that you belong to. Would you come if I tempt you with candy? I'll be sugar, you're the daddy. Trophy under your arms, hand in hand up the avenue. Call me Lucky Charm, but you be playing too much, I don't understand. You can't stick around, not a gentleman. Said if you can't have me, you can't be my friend. Going back and forth to get an upper hand. Don't know who you are when I'm not nearby, but I notice all you fucking do is lie. Don't treat me like I'm stupid, I know your patterns. I know your patterns, come and go again. Take your time with your side and then you come and go again. You said that we'll be fine on the end line, but then you go again. And yeah, there you go again. Don't do this shit no more. Yeah, we're not kids anymore. Think we've been through this before. No, we're not kids anymore.
I've been on a one-way, riding down the road, thinking that I'll someday make my way back home. I was drinking so much at the pregame that I missed the party. I miss our dinner dates, sipping sake at hibachi. I miss my mama's cooking and dad's Yamazaki. He said he loved my drive, I steal his car keys, now I'm riding over. Plenty of space for 5 in my Innova. And if you got the light, then spark it up and slide it over. It's been a minute since I've been sober, but a couple more since I've been home and we just hit the road. I'm rolling like a stoner, the city getting colder. Know that class is over, time to tell them pretty bitches bring their asses over. About the time my pretty ass was chauffeured. Spent a long time running, been a long time coming. I've been on a one-way, riding down the road, thinking that I'll someday make my way back home. How the hell I miss a target if I'm out here mixing markets? Miss me with that bullshit, I was bored so I just left the party. People with no paper telling me to stay within the margins. If they didn't hear me out, I bet you now they beg the pardon. They want a belt to fasten and then a neck to garland. I wanna come back home but they wanna rent apartments. It's when you make it out the farthest that the lights begin to darken. I've been driving for a while but I ain't found a spot to park in. Hey, riding down the road, thinking that I'll someday make my way back home. I've been on a one-way, riding down the road, thinking that I'll someday make my way back home.
Hi, this is Zoe Hartbein-Court, and you can check out rukusavenueradio.com for more information and for the latest on station programming and more.
Look me in my face. Can I get a taste? Grab you by the waist. Keep up with the pace, baby. I got what it takes. Can we take it to your place? You could have me boxed in. Send up in there, you just dropped in. Find a place we could get lost in. I don't do this often, but with you I need no option. Baby, me and you are locked in. Locked and I'm loaded. Put me in your own, babe. You could have that whole thing. All to your own. You've been on the ropes, babe. But can we skip the foreplay? Look me in my face. Can I get a taste? Grab you by the waist. Bottle of that ace, but if we keep up the pace up, you could meet me at my place. You could have me boxed in. Send up in there, you just dropped in. Find a place we could get lost in. I don't do this often, but with you I need no option. Baby, me and you are locked in. Locked and I'm loaded. Put me in your own, babe. You could have that whole thing. All to your own. You've been on the ropes, babe. But can we skip the foreplay? Look me in my face. Can I get a taste? Grab you by the waist. Uber at the gate of me and you just hopped in. Me, I'm from the Bay. You say you from LA. I'll be in New York or I so I'll be in LA if you from Austin. You could have me boxed in. Send up in there, you just dropped in. Find a place we could get lost in. I don't do this often, but with you I need no option. Baby, me and you are locked in. You could have me boxed in. Send up in there, you just dropped in. Find a place we could get lost in. I don't do this often, but with you I need no option. Baby, me and you are locked in. Three little piggies, I'm the wolf in a parka. Two middle fingers if the cups tryna lock us. One in the chamber but forever be a rock star. Hands up boy, I'm pissing on a cop car. Tell them boys settle it. You gon' cast smoke if you cigarette peddling. You gon' get choked if you use the wrong rhetoric. Hey boy, don't you know that you're melanin a felony? You the scapegoats for the money they embezzling. And watch them raise toast while you struggle to make bread again. Medals made of gold for the shit that they meddling. I swear we done shed a tear for more than one too many kids. If they don't cooperate, we gon' loot the corporates. We done paid our dues not knowing what the cost is. Bitches brought a gun to a knife fight, we forked it. Bit the hand that fed us, well which hand you think enforced it? Had us feeling nauseous, moving super cautious. Red tape the government, yellow tape caution. Until we in a coffin, we be in a mosh pit, pissing on a cop car, throwing up a Molotov cocktail. Three little piggies, I'm the wolf in a parka. Two middle fingers if the cuffs tryna lock us. One in the chamber but forever be a rock star. Hands up boy, I'm pissing on a yeah. Three little piggies, I'm the wolf in a parka. Two middle fingers if the cuffs tryna lock us. One in the chamber but forever be a rock star. Hands up boy, I'm pissing on her, pissing on her.
मैं फेंका मुंह पे इनके शोर्यूकेन करना चाहते कब्जा यहाँ जैसे ये डोरियन वो बोले ये है जंग का मैदान में नेपोलियन रहता ना मुझ में जरा भी लिहाज You don't want it then fuck you and your podium फर्जी इनकी audience तरजी से ले तब भी फटे इनकी Nickelodeon ये flow काफी भारी man I feel like notorious हम सारे क्रांतिकारी Now you all know what time it is ये देखने वाले मुझे होते flip मीठे ये खुले सारे एक पैकेट बिस्किट मेरे ब्रैकेट से बाहर you in the shit list दबा ना पाते क्योंकि मैं इनका kill switch दुनिया मेरे लिए छोटी जैसे nose ring नजरे हमारी कायनात पे like who you worshipping साथ ऊपर वाला league में gods or kings and fuck the government लिखाई ये कसवाई हिंद
Hi, this is Shiksha Maithani, aka Bolly Girl. Make sure to check out my show, Bollywood Break, for the latest Bollywood songs, news, and gossip on Mondays, 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, only on Rukus Avenue Radio.